Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Jupiter Klein, and I'm going to be commentating this race today between Alraedris and SimplyDoneIt. So this is the winner's bracket of our Aria of Sorrow Randomizer tournament. And we do have a fancy new layout, complete with tracker, courtesy of SpeedGaming, so I think it looks great. As you can see, this is a shop sanity randomizer. So both of our runners are going to be in the shop, picking stuff up. It looks like they both get final sword out of the gate. Both making the same decision. I think that's the right call. So the goal of this randomizer is to pick up 3 books that will tell us what souls we need for the true ending. Beyond that, we're going to need some form of flight, either bat or hippogriff. And it looks like both of our runners are going to start out with Malphus. So yeah, either hippogriff or giant bat, and then we need some ability to move underwater. You'll also notice that the areas are shuffled a little bit differently from what you might remember. The settings we're using for the summer tournament, it's area shuffle plus boss shuffle. So typically our runners will take a few seconds to just check and see what areas are the starting left location. So Final Sword is debatably the best weapon in the game, actually. However, it is slow and a little bit unwieldy until our players get something like backdash to make it easier to use. But for now, the power is worth that trade-off. Okay, so simply on the right here, doing an out-of-logic check. You're normally supposed to have Undine, which lets you walk on water to get up here. And find study. So this is going to be an interesting call. Does Simply want to go down into the study? Okay, looks like yes. So the reason this is a risk is that at the end of the study, there is a 1-tile gap that can sometimes act as a dead end. So there could be a potential backtrack in store if Simply doesn't get lucky. On the other hand, if they find what they need, this could pay off. Meanwhile, we do have a divergence. Alraedris heading up, which is the standard route. So in terms of movement speed, typically the souls our players are looking for. Black Panther is the fastest way to move around, but doesn't always show up. It's only found in 70% of seeds, and even then it's rarely happens early, so something these runners might have better luck with is backdash. That typically comes pretty early in my experience. That can also speed up movement, though it's a little bit tougher to use. So Simply here approaching the end of the study. Got a couple of checks left before the boss. Gonna pick up the grapes for healing just in case. Ooh, nice. Okay, meanwhile, Alraedris finds Undine. Now that's interesting because that suggests the logic of this particular seed is kind of funneling the players towards going to study, which Simply did out of order. So if he can find some good progression here, this could pay off. Okay, so one of the most interesting aspects of this randomizer is because our players are rushing forward, they're typically a lot lower level than you would expect in a casual playthrough. That can pose a pretty big issue against bosses, since those fights are a lot tougher than they would be otherwise. However, the equipment can often make up for it. As we're seeing here, Simply doing a great job tearing through Headhunter with the final sword. Okay, nothing important behind Headhunter, so just one check left for Simply. And then it's going to be decision time. Meanwhile, kind of unfortunate for Alraedris, finds a dead end in the cemetery. This could have something important, but if not, it's going to be a long trip back with not a lot to show for it. And not much for Simply. Now the good news is study is totally cleared for Simply now, so won't have to worry about coming back. Probably. There's maybe a world where that left exit at the bottom is required, but probably not. The downside is this backtrack will take a couple of minutes. So let's see what's going on at the cemetery for Alraedris. Okay, Potato Pancake for Alraedris. And this is one of the areas where boss shuffle can be a problem. So you really want, if you're Alraedris, to get past this fight, because you don't want to come all the way back to Cemetery later. However, if this is a tough fight, like Bolor or like Legion, deaths are not uncommon in that kind of situation. So I agree with the save that he's taking here. Okay, but Big Golem should be no problem. So far, quite a linear seed for our runners. Allura Une for Alraedris might be required. So the way it works in this game, any required soul that you need for the true ending is going to be found in one of those colored canisters. Oh, nice. So Simply gets backdash. Did Alraedris not come up here? I might have just missed it, but let me go ahead and mark that off for Simply. So Simply making great use of that backdash for slightly faster movement. And also find some nice armor. Oh, interesting. Okay, so Alraedris did not come up here. That's a big deal. Because that was just a duplicate Gravekeeper. That'll happen sometimes with the Randomizer, where certain key souls or items will have duplicates. So I'm not sure that trip was worth it. However, Alraedris does find Curly. Curly is one of the game's 3 rush souls. They're very good for offense. They're very fast. And they might be required because they allow you access to the waterfall check. We'll see if that comes into play, but it's always good to find one of those. In that case, I believe the only checks left for our runners are at the very start. There are a couple of double jump checks up there. And simply finds Undine. Now this is going to be really interesting. This is a big moment for Alraedris. If Alraedris follows Simply's route and heads up to the study immediately, these runners are going to be about even. However, if Alraedris goes to the start, he'll have quite a nice lead at this point. A few minutes at least. So we'll see. And you can see on Alraedris' screen what that Rush Soul looks like in action. Very quick, much faster than backdash canceling, almost as fast as Panther. The problem is the MP cost is really, really high, so you can only use it in short bursts. Okay, so now Alraedris is going to come up here. So you'll notice on Simply's side, Simply is using backdash to cancel the lag animation. That's useful on any heavy sword in the game, and it can make boss fights a lot quicker. So this big golem fight should be a little bit quicker for Simply. Yeah, very nice fight from Simply there. Not going to find too much that's immediately useful. But depending on what the books say, one of these blue canisters could be required. So, Curly for Simply. And now both of our runners are caught up on progression. Let's see what Alraedris does here. Okay. So gambling on study first. I wonder if Alraedris is going to poke in and leave, or if he's going to commit. I don't think this is a bad decision necessarily, because there are a lot more checks up here, so statistically, Makes sense. But as we know, nothing much down here. I saw a little hesitation there, but it looks like Alraedris is going to clear out study first. Okay, so with that, Simply's actually back in the lead here. Let me remind the chat that this is a best-of-3 series, and our players will have 2 chances, both in the winners and in the losers bracket. This is match 1. Match 2 is scheduled for, I believe, tomorrow between these 2 players. So lots more action to come. So my guess at this point, we're going to find flying armor at the start. That's going to open up a couple of area checks for our runners. In the vanilla game, it would be dance hall and inner quarters. But who knows? If they get lucky, they might find flight instead, or even panther. Oh, interesting. Is Simply going to sequence break here? Well, this is certainly an interesting play. I'll be honest, I'm not sure if I agree with it. Because there's some kind of progression that's guaranteed to let you get up here normally, Simply could potentially be leaving something big on the table. This way up where you use backdash in combination with double jump, this is not in logic. We'll see. Maybe the gamble pays off. The top floor, it's good that we know where this is. We'll be coming back here later. Interesting, wow. Loops back around? Huh. Okay. What that means is the start has actually gotta be some kind of flight. What a crazy seed. This is one of the most linear, slow-paced starts I've ever seen. It might pay off here. They get a hippogriff or something like that. So unfortunately what that does mean is this can't be Panther, because Panther's not going to open up anything new. It might be Skula, actually, now that I think about it, because that would open up Eastern. So it's either going to be Bad Hippogriff or Skula coming up. Oh no, I see a comment in chat. Please don't let that be the case. I didn't even consider this. I had put study way out of my mind. If it's slide and they've got to go back... Wait a minute. This is Clock Tower. I'm sorry, this is my fault. So, I didn't have audio on earlier. This looks almost the same as top floor. I thought this was top floor bad end. So, okay. In that case, there are a couple more checks that could be it over here. That's actually good news, because if Silvergun's suggestion that it was slide was actually the case, that would have been just a tragedy. But yeah, good news. You can go down here. But still, we are running low on checks now. You're either going to find a bunch of new areas to explore, or they're going to find some progression soon. Interesting, okay. So Chrono Mage for Simply is important. That is an alternate way to access the Galamoth checks in the quarters area. Okay, nice. Mistletoe. Yeah, I guess Simply figures the holy damage isn't gonna matter. That's probably the right call. Might be worth picking up for funds, but I think they're gonna be good to go, these players. We've got decent armor at this point, plus final. Okay, so Alraedris is gonna be doing the early game checks. Let's see what's over here. Look at that! There's Hippogriff. So simply electing to do Clock Tower, where Alraedris actually picks up flight. So this is the downside about not going back to the start. It does take a little bit of extra time to do these checks, but in that kind of situation, I do think it's worth it. Should be really quick great armor for Simply. 650 HP. Yeah, it's over. Oh, nice soul drop. Very good. Meanwhile, we see Alraedris stocking up on healing and finds a Levite. Oh, no. So it seems like both of our runners are perfectly happy to just stick with Final Sword for the rest of the season. I think that's good. We also see Chrono Mage in the shop, but Alraedris not opting to buy it. Okay, so we had Flying Armor and Hippogriff at the start. Interesting. Oh, and Galamoth! Wow. What a stacked start. Well, in case you were wondering where all that progression was, there it was. Fascinating. So yeah, unfortunately, simply finding a dead end. No progress can be made there without Skula. Interesting, but Alraedris opting to follow Simply here. So once again, a potential divergence that could give a player a lead. The player elects not to follow it, so once again, runners are neck and neck. Simply's gonna make his way back, and then the Hippogriff, etc. from the start. Now, Simply does have slide, but I'm sure that Simply will go to the start here. Okay. Simply debating how to reach that. Once he gets Hippogriff, he'll be able to walk right back in. Meanwhile, Alraedris is about to start his Great Armor fight. And with Hippogriff, our runners have access to a good... I think with this seed, it's actually only 2 area checks within the main castle corridor. They've checked one of them already. And there's slide for Alraedris. There's also the interesting idea of going to top floor early. That can be pretty risky. It's a tough area with very strong enemies, and deaths are common there. So what is Simply going to pick up in the shop here? Okay. Nothing for now. So it looks like Alraedris is contemplating something, deciding on which area to check next. So because Alraedris has Hippogriff, there is one additional check he can do here, which is the Merman Room check. Now, wouldn't it be funny if this had something like Panther? I'm just saying. Another great find here would be Skula, actually. Oh, it's just a rapier. I'm not sure if Simply did that check. Simply would have been able to because Simply had Undine, but I think they just kind of bailed a little bit early. So Simply going with the gamble I mentioned before. I definitely applaud this move, just heading to top floor. You've got to come up here anyway. So if you're feeling confident, you can activate the warp, pick up whatever you need here, and then head to the rest of the castle to clean up. So we're a half hour into the seed, and so far neither runner has found a book, which is pretty unusual. Again, that's a testament to the slow start of the speed. Typically a seed will have 1, maybe 2 books by this point. So we have really no idea what souls we're looking for here. or whether either runner has picked one of the required souls up. Simply using a nice trick there where you can suspend the game and reload, and you'll get warped back to the start of the room. That's pretty helpful for longer rooms if you want to get out of them quickly. Simply finds Ascalon, which is one of the best swords in the game. It's not as good as Final Sword. Oh, but Death's Robe is pretty good. This is debatably the best piece of armor in the whole game. Very nice find. So yeah, in terms of equipment, Simply and I think soon to be Alraedris are going to be set for the rest of the game. I think Alraedris is also doing top floor, huh? Interesting. Oh, maybe just checking it out, deciding to go to the rest of Castle Corridor. There are 2 more area checks here, so... Okay, no, Alraedris is going to do top floor. Here we have the infamous Wrecking Ball. This thing's tough to get working right, especially if you're using a heavy weapon. A question in chat, what souls are we missing for clear? We have actually yet to find a book, so we are not sure yet. But besides the book souls, we still need to find Skula, and otherwise we're in go mode. Okay, so Eastern Reservoir for Simply. Yeah, electing to do that 1 check and head back. You really need Skula to full clear this, so I think that's the right call. Ooh, Alraedris takes a death. Yeah, like I mentioned, deaths are very common at top floor. It is a super tough area to clear consistently. Hopefully didn't lose too much progress. Still has Hippogriff, that's good. So I don't think this is too bad. Maybe a few minutes. Yeah, but from here I think Simply's gonna head to Castle Corridor. Find somewhere else to explore. You'll also notice, by the way, as a tip for other runners, Simply is using the Rush Soul to just, bypass the final guards. That's a really nice and clean way to handle that. Yeah, left is going to be faster here. Good call from Simply. Okay, yeah, not too big of a loss for Alraedris. Just a couple minutes. That's good to see. So definitely very much still in this race. And Simply, meanwhile, finds the arena.
Oh, céus, oh vida.
Some commentary from Simply there. This could be full cleared. Simply does have slide, and there is a room that's slide locked. Much like with top floor, this area is tough. Alright, so poison's not good here. In this game, the way it works is your defense and offense are dropped when you're poisoned, so that did 60 damage as opposed to like 30. I think Simply's gonna be okay. There's a save coming up. Cutting it close. Okay, yeah, Simply's fine. So we've got 3 checks up here, and 4 checks down below. Dryad's pretty good. Might not be worth keeping on its own, as opposed to just resetting out and saving the time. However, because our runners are still in the dark about what red soul's required, I'd probably be inclined to hold on to that. Yeah, Simply agrees. So next up we have the 3 trials. These are 3, well, okay, 2 of these 3 are among the toughest rooms in the game. The 3rd one is Dance Dance Revolution. And we also have a boss down here. Okay, Legion, yeah. Not great. I think Simply will be able to handle this with Final Sword. Smart call, switching over to Lilith for the int boost. That's going to increase the damage Curly does here. And you can see on this fight the wide range of the Final Sword is excellent against Legion. Smart. So right before Legion goes down, Simply is switching over to Aranis, which is going to increase the experience he receives, which is a great idea. Legion is a big chunk of experience, so even if there's nothing behind this boss room, the levels are probably going to be worth it on their own. So yeah, up from 16 to 40, sorry, up from, not that much, up from 16 to 20. And Succubus is nice. It's a good yellow soul find. Otherwise, though, just a duplicate Curly. I think Simply's gonna save first, then head to the trials. Yeah. I'm actually gonna do trial 1 first, okay? Okay, so putting that succubus soul to great use here. The way succubus works, if you hit anything, you'll get 5 HP back, and that includes candles, that includes wrecking balls, whatever. So once you have that succubus soul equipped, it's really easy to keep your HP up. Meanwhile, it looks like Alraedris is done with top floor exploration and is heading to Castle Corridor. There could be a potential divergence here. Okay, but simply electing not to do the other two trials for now. Those could be clear, but are a little bit slow. Okay, so Alraedris is going to stick with Arena. Meanwhile, Simply's coming up on what I think is the last area check that's currently available to our runners. School has got to be coming soon, I think. A strawberry for Simply. Interesting, finds quarters. This is good. I got a feeling Galamoth is going to be stacked. I'm going to call it one book, maybe two, coming up. Let's see, what do we got? It's a book! Oh, okay, nice. A book and a black belt. I think Simply's gonna be happy with that. Hookahback. I don't think our runners have that yet, nope. Excuse me. Black belt is a nice find because that's the best strength boosting accessory in the game. Okay, so finally, 45 minutes in, we know one of the three required souls. Okay, this is actually interesting. This is going to open up some new items in the shop. The way it works in Aria, Headhunter and Death, once defeated, Hammer's going to start selling some more items. Now, because the runners are so decked out, it's probably not going to matter. But sometimes Hammer will actually sell a required soul. You can find it elsewhere, but that could be a nice shortcut. And then who knows, maybe there's like a claim in the shop. So I wonder if Alraedris is going to do the 2 trials that Simply skipped. There's a book in one of them. We might have a comeback on our hands. Samurai armor for Simply, and one more check on the left. Is this Skula, finally? Okay, there we go. Took a while to find, but Simply gets there first. So yeah, for those curious about an ETA, these seeds typically take between an hour and a half. This seed's probably going to be a lot closer to 90 minutes because of how slow the start was. I think both runners are on good pace here. Ooh, blocking mail? No. Yeah. I agree with that. So blocking mail is really nice to have, but with Death's Robe, I think it's better to have higher defense and more int. Okay, so there was the other side of study. Okay, so Alraedris almost through the worst room in the game. Gotta be careful. Oh, 10 HP. Oof. Yeah, spikes plus petrify. That hurts. Just the steel armor. Gonna reset out. Will Alraedris play DDR? I hope so. So at this point, Simply needs 3 things. Simply needs the 2 books, blue and yellow. And Simply also has to find gardens, which I don't believe either runner has seen yet. That's required because after the Graham fight, you go into the gardens to face off against Julius. Okay, Simply's gonna make his way back down. I'm sure it's tempting to reset out and just load back at the save point. That's a typical strat our runners will do. But I think he wants to hold on to that Catoblepus in case it's required. Alright, so Alraedris making quick work of Legion. That was a soul canister up there, yeah. Another Skula. Nice, okay, so Alraedris is going to play some DDR. The way this works, you stand on that moving platform and press the buttons that flash. It is the same pattern every time, so you can memorize it if you'd like. Arc Demon for Simply. May or may not be required, but that's a very good yellow. The way that one works, if you take damage, you'll restore a lot of MP. Very useful in the end game. So I was really hoping for a book there, but unfortunately Alraedris finds nothing but ramen. So Simply actually making the perfect play to leave the arena early. Okay, so Balor, a lot of HP and hits hard. Thankfully, at this point, Simply's pretty decked out and at a reasonably high level, so it shouldn't be too tough for Simply, I don't think. Wow, that was super quick. Already on to phase 2. Yeah, very nice fight. Just a map, though. Oh, interesting. Okay. I like that play by Simply electing to leave and give up that experience for a quicker reset. Also, I don't believe our runners have found Uka back yet. So honestly, still a ways to go. So here we go. Simply finds the bottom of Clock Tower. There are now a couple of checks that Simply can do that he was not able to before. Your first check is just a Sherman ring. That ring will boost the player's experience, but at this point, Simply's got all the levels he needs, I think. Interesting. Wow, so Alraedris also coming down here. I thought Alraedris might head up to the waterfall. But, nope. There's been a lot of potential divergence this seed, but our runners have stuck to mostly the same path. I think, let's see, what areas have our runners not found yet? They haven't found Garden, and they haven't found Forbidden Area. I believe that's it. Meanwhile, Alraedris is going to get book number 1. Now, something I should note about the books, you'll see on Alraedris' side, there are 2 names. The first name is the soul you need, and the second name is an enemy you can choose to farm that soul from. It's never required to farm, but it can be faster, and the drop rates for Dracula souls in the randomizer are increased. So it's actually quite common to see runners with 2 out of 3 souls electing to grind for that final soul instead of searching around the castle for it. We'll see if that comes into play here today. Meanwhile, simply going to take a trip to the fully expanded shop. Let's see what's been added. I got Osafune is new. Yeah, not a whole lot stands out to me there. Maybe not the best shop overall. So at this point, I expect that Simply's going to head... Oh, maybe not. I was going to say head to Eastern. So all the way to the right, and then underwater here. There is an area check neither runner's explored yet. Interesting. Okay, so here's Forbidden. We still need 2 books, and the castle's almost fully explored. There's a pretty decent shot at one, maybe both of the books are down here. So I wonder if that's why Simply saved, expecting to find Forbidden. Okay, so here's Garden. So I think this is gonna lead to the waterfall. And that's gonna be our full castle map. Electing to save Forbidden for later. A second Lilith is interesting. Now, I'm not sure if Simply bought Lilith in the shop or found it off a random entity drop, but if it was a random drop, that would indicate there's a very slightly greater chance than average that Lilith is the required soul. Nothing to count on, but it could be the case. Okay, finally we get our required red. So Simply is now 1 for 3. Thank you to Kuchiri for the raid. Welcome, Raiders. We're in the middle of a Aria of Sorrow tournament match between SimplyDoneIt and Alraedris. At the moment, Simply has a small lead, but both of our runners are still looking for a number of things, including 2 books. Oh, I forgot about Chapel. They hadn't found Chapel yet. Okay, so honestly, there's a lot of checks here. Man, no Chapel an hour in. That's kind of wild. Oh, I did not. Wow, Simply did that check so fast I couldn't even see it on stream. I'm guessing it was nothing. Alright, here's Manticore. Here's Manticore. Yeah, at this point, the second boss in the game in vanilla is not going to pose any kind of resistance. Still no second book, still no third book. Where could they be? Oh, also, I think Alraedris got Skula. Let me go ahead and mark that. Almost forgot. Okay, there's Kicker. So at this point, the only 2 progression souls left for Simply. Neither required at this point, but would be nice to have. Giant Bat. Ooh, Manticore is really good. Nice. So Manticore is the strongest of the 3 rush souls. And even with Final Sword, it's a really good choice for the endgame bosses. But yeah, the other possibility is Black Panther. It's looking, however, like this is a no Panther seed. 30% of the time, there's no Panther at all. Although, who knows, maybe we'll find a Panther late here. And yeah, now we're back up to the waterfall. There's a duplicate book 1, not the book that Simply wants to see. Hey, there's book 3. There's no way we get all 3 books at the waterfall, right? Gremlin? That was found. I'm not sure if Simply reset out, but Simply should have that. No, okay. So that blue book has either got to be, if I'm remembering correctly, it's either got to be in the Forbidden Area, or it's got to be in Eastern Reservoir. One of the 2. But yeah, just 1 left. Also, I missed a raid a few minutes back. Hello, Vey. And hello to the raiders. Welcome to Aria of Sorrow. And yes, this has certainly been a very slow seed. I think both runners have played it well, but the start was incredibly linear, and there was a lot of backtracking that was forced. Okay, did Simply ever do that check? Yeah, I think there's 1 more check to the left here. Okay, electing to do it from the top, I think that makes sense. If it's a book, which is what you're hoping for, then you'll want to slide in to pick it up. But yeah, after this check, it's going to be decision time for Simply, whether he wants to go to Forbidden or Eastern first. There are more checks in Eastern, but Forbidden is a little bit closer. You can just warp back to the start, get there pretty quick. Oh, Simply never did these checks either. Interesting, okay. So we got a few left up here first. That was a nice velour fight for Alraedris, making good use of that flying armor to float over the flames. Okay, so Simply electing to just head over to Eastern. I didn't notice to Simply set up a save warp, but I think that's a pretty decent call. Yeah, just reading chat right now, and I think I agree. If the final book is only found in Forbidden, then Alraedris is going to have a very real chance of catching up, depending on his routing. If Simply gets lucky and finds the book here, I think it's pretty much GG. Though you never know with Aria. This game has a very difficult ending. Not sure where Simply is going at the moment. I wonder if Simply realized he missed some checks on the left here, wants to do these first. Yep, okay. Blue canister. Oh, it's Giant Bat. Now, I know it's late in the seed, and both of our runners already have Hippogriff. Trust me, finding Giant Bat is always a good thing. It's one of the most versatile souls in the game, and it chains very nicely with Hippogriff. So we might see some use from that. Nice dive, kicks off the Merman. So this leads, what, to Clock Tower, I think? Yeah, I think Simply realizing he wants to head back. I think the easiest way from here is to just go to Eastern. Okay, if Alraedris heads down, this could be a race. So far, I've been kind of hoping for some divergence, and it just hasn't happened. Yes, let's go, let's go. Alright, so this is our first moment of meaningful divergence in the entire race. And this could put Alraedris right back on top. He's got to get lucky, though. He's got to find a yellow book in one of these two spots. Or, I'm sorry, a blue book in one of these two spots. Nothing in check one. The Jai is a good sword, but not worth keeping at this point. Meanwhile, Simply's gonna have like 5 or 6 checks coming up here. Missing a check at the bottom. Maybe plans to come back. Oh, there it is. Simply wins the race to the blue book, and it's Manticore, okay. So the 3 required souls here, Ukobak, Manticore, and Gremlin. And Simply should have all 3. Now maybe Alraedris will find a duplicate blue here. But it'll be a difficult comeback to make. Yeah, super stacked reservoir, this seed. It is the largest area of the castle, but having all 3 books here is quite unusual. Anyway, in the meantime, just a Tear of Blood for Alraedris, which is kind of a B-tier accessory. Not the best. I think Simply's going to just head to top floor and go fight Graham. Now, there's a comment in chat about whether or not Simply reset out a gremlin. If he did, he can find it again in Dance Hall. But that's the problem with resetting out. It's super easy to forget which things... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I don't see much Dance Hall completed on that map. I think Chad is right. I think Simply did reset out. Oh dear. So now the problem is, how long does it take Simply to recover that gremlin? At this point, it might be worth grinding, and I'm not sure what the Yellow Soul said the farm option was. But, you know, Aria's got a big castle. And it's a labyrinth, and it's easy to lose track of all the little individual checks over the course of a run. Yeah, at this point, my hope would be Simply considers the farm option. Meanwhile, Alraedris is slow and steady progress picks up the required red. And I know that Alraedris did not reset out, so Alraedris does have Gremlin. Okay, Werewolf. That's honestly not a terrible farm. Those are easy to find in the garden. They can also be found in the arena. Actually, wait a minute. That's where Jaguar's in the arena. I think it's just garden for Werewolf, right? Yeah, I think that's right. Now, here's another interesting possibility. Does Simply remember that he picked up Gremlin in the first place? If not, his thought process might be, well, I gotta keep exploring because I just haven't even found it yet. Well, hang on, Simply's going to garden. We're doing the farm? I think this is a very good call, if so. Okay, here we go. Everybody buckle in for the farm. Wait, hang on, did Simply get it already? I was AFK for like 30 seconds. Wow, I was very lucky. Oh no, hang on. I see the problem. So yeah, whenever you exit this room, you want to exit from the left, not the right. It's kind of a gimmick with Garden. Depending on which side of the room you enter or exit from, it'll lead you to different locations. But yeah, now he's got it. Still very quick. But I'll say this much: that detour did give Alraedris a bit of time to catch up. Now there's still a big gap between the two runners at the moment. But I no longer think it's insurmountable. We'll see how the end game goes for Simply. The percent on required soul drops, I don't have the exact figure offhand, but it's buffed. It's like 1 in 20 or 1 in 30, something like that. So yeah, 5th try is very lucky either way. We've got to be careful about the health now. You don't want to lose all that progress. Okay. Okay, for those who are not sure how this final fight works, this is the final fight of the bad ending. However, if you equip the 3 required souls before the final hit is dealt to phase 1, you'll get a different cutscene, and they'll let you know that you've unlocked the true ending. So until the final blow of phase 1, you can equip whatever you want. And Simply's just going to focus on Final Sword, it looks like. Manticore is another really good option here, especially because Simply's got both Lilith and the Death's Robe for int boost. Okay, that looks right. Just double check and be sure. Okay, now compare the damage. Final Sword's a great weapon, right? But it's dealing 69 versus 153. That's how good Manticore is. Okay, and that slightly different portrait tells us that the true ending was successfully unlocked. Gotta be careful though, that laser's gonna kill. Oh, that was so close to a death. Okay, got it. Okay, so now Simply's gonna be heading back to the garden to go fight Julius. So just 2 boss fights left, and I think Simply's on pace for a sub 100. So maybe another 15 minutes or so. That assumes no deaths, and those are very common on Julius and Chaos at the end. So it does Simply remember. I mean, Simply went to Garden to farm Werewolf, so I'm guessing he remembers where Garden's at. So I believe Waterfall was the quicker entrance, but either of these will work. Well, assuming he's going up here. Oh no, that's right, it was the bottom, right? And then Waterfall, okay, no. Simply's making the right call here. This is the right way. That's tough. I can say from experience that, managing all of these area divergences, route divergences, it is a lot to keep track of. And I think both of our runners have done a nice job staying focused. Okay, so here we go. Simply's going to switch over to the Khalid Bog for this fight, which I like. $180 a pop. Yeah, that Manticore damage is really good. Okay, so on to phase 2 now for Simply. This is the harder part of the fight. Thankfully, it's less HP, so it's 2,000 HP in phase 2 versus 4,000 in phase 1. So the way I like to think about it, Julius is going all out now, so he's more of a glass cannon. Well, not going all out. I shouldn't say that because, for story reasons. But in terms of gameplay. Yep, very nice fight from Simply. Good combo of Khalid Bolg plus Manticore. Okay, one area left. Now, I'm thinking from Simply's perspective, there was a little bit of backtracking. I'm wondering if Simply feels like he's behind. If so, he might skip these upcoming checks. If not, maybe you kind of roll the dice on a Panther or a Chaos Seed. Or a Chaos Ring. But no. So Simply's happy with what he's got. Wants to save those seconds. I respect that. So Simply's actually going to have a couple of options for Chaos. I wonder if he'll stick with Final Sword, which is my guess. That's a really straightforward way to approach both Chaos Phase 1 and Chaos Phase 2. However, if he wants to play a bit more creative, he might try using Manticore instead. Both really good options at this point. So I believe Alraedris is in go mode now. Off to fight Gran. But here we go, Simply at the final fight. Okay, so getting really nice mileage out of those double and triple hits from Final Sword. But here we go, phase 2. This is the one where things can really go wrong. Super easy to get comboed here. This fight is notorious. Thankfully, Simply's got a lot of healing, but sometimes healing won't save you. If you get combo damage, you can go from 500 to 0 flat. We've got to be super careful around those orbs. You do not want to get touched by one of those orbs. That's what almost always starts a chain reaction. Oh, here we go. Switching over to Succubus, I agree. Oh, got it. Okay, good. Oof. Yeah, this fight is such an ordeal. It's fun though. It's one of my favorite parts of Aria. But it really gets the adrenaline pumping. Alright, going for a 3-eye. That's it for the healing. Just Succubus at this point. But I think he's getting close. Come on, Simply. Oh, that's so smart! That's so smart. That's so smart. Oh! That's a highlight finish. So, switching over to the Flesh Golem Enchanted Soul, that spoiled milk became a full heal. Didn't end up needing it, but it was a great option to help ensure his safety. Excellent, okay. So that's time for Simply. Very well played. And also a really good showing from Alraedris. I'm not sure if Alraedris is going to continue or forfeit, but for now, let me reach out to Simply and see if he'd like to join us for a post-game race interview. Hey, it looks like Simply is going to be joining us. Let me go ahead and send that link over. Simply go ahead and check your Discord. I DM'd it to you. Hey, what's up, Simply?
Hey.
Congrats on your win, a final time of 0 seconds and 0 milliseconds. Congrats.
Yeah, first of all, sorry for bad English. I'm not a native speaker, and
Hey, what's up, Simply? Oh, you'll want to mute your stream, by the way. I can hear an echo.
yeah, sorry.
No worries.
I forgot where gardens were, like 2 times in the run. I think most people noticed it. And like for most of the run, I thought I was behind. I was like ready to give up, but yeah.
So yeah, I think you played that really well at the end. You ended up grinding the yellow soul from the werewolf.
I can recall, did I reset the soul? I was pretty sure I had gotten it somewhere.
Yeah, you did. It was in dance hall. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, kinda happy with how I played the run overall.
That was a very exciting chaos fight.
Yeah, I I've tried to farm some healing items throughout the run, because I know I'm stuck at Chaos Fight. Also, I suck at Judas Fight. I think most people noticed it.
No, I thought that was a great fight this run. You really played both of those well, I think.
Yeah, but
Well, sorry, go ahead. Anyway, so tell us a little bit about your strategy for the next race.
I don't
Anything you're
have.
thinking about?
I don't have a strategy.
No strategy? Okay. Well, if you play like you did today, I think you got a great shot. So congrats again on the win.
Thanks.
And I think we'll see you tomorrow, right? Is that when the next race is scheduled?
I believe it's Friday.
Oh, it's Friday. Okay.
But yeah,
right.
thanks.
Perfect. And congrats again. All right. Once again, let's give a GG to Simply, and let me go ahead and post this command. You can follow both of our runners here. They are both active streamers, and they're both great players. So if you enjoyed this race, please do give them a follow. Meanwhile, we're going to root on Alraedris for the end. I think we're going to see similar strats on Chaos, with a focus on Final Sword. Is there going to be a game 2? Not today, but there is one scheduled for later in the week. So overall, my thoughts on Alraedris' route, it was a very thorough playstyle, which I think can pay off for sure, depending on the seed. It didn't quite happen to work out this time. But I'm excited to see how it goes game 2 for Alraedris. Ooh. Yeah, that Arc Demon, or not Arc Demon, Demon Lord. That's a nasty enemy, very strong. Where was Alraedris' last save, though? Oh, perfect. Okay, no big deal then. Glad to see a save, so maybe a couple minutes, but definitely continuable. Yeah, I was honestly worried about the save being before Julius, and that would have been a more significant time sink. Yeah, not the most cooperative Chaotic Realm for Alraedris. These enemies are not playing nice. Gotta be careful here, okay. So Alraedris making it to Chaos. Okay, on to phase 2. Best of luck here for Alraedris. Yeah, just gonna stick with Final Sword, it looks like. So each of these eyes has 3,000 HP. Also, what's Alraedris' healing situation look like? Maybe not the best. Oh, gotta heal again, yeah. I like that use of Curly there to get some extra damage in. But I think we're going for a 4-eye strat here. Yeah. Go ahead and knock them all out. The way it works, for each eye that's defeated, the core takes more damage per hit. Oh, yeah. That is a classic Chaos combo. Orb in the spike. We did get a save, though. So Alraedris will get another shot at it. Yeah, I think when it comes to combo damage, I think it's a literal 1-frame window between when the orb blows up and when you get hit by something else that's overlapping you. 1 frame. It might be 2, I'm pretty sure it's 1. So you could, like, mash pause. So if it catches you off guard, it's pretty much a wrap. And that's one of the things that makes this fight so scary. There's no easy way out, even if you've got a large buffet. A question in chat, is the final sword better than the claim? It depends on who you ask. I think pretty much everyone will agree they're the two best weapons overall. My personal thought is that the final sword is theoretically better, but practically speaking, claim is almost as good and it's a lot easier to use. It auto-cancels, it's got holy damage, which is almost always an asset. Yeah, so in general, I think most players would prefer to see the claim, but there are situations where I'd rather see final. Like this fight, for example, I'd rather have final sword, funny enough. Because you can get super easy double hits on the core, which is great. Okay, good. I like that, kind of preemptively pausing to heal. Wow, that orb almost rebounded back. That could have been really bad. But as you can see, this fight is a complete mess of enemy hitboxes. There's a lot going on. It's tough to keep track of everything. Okay, nice. Sub 1 hour 50 for Alraedris. GG. Like I said, I think the seed overall was well played for Alraedris. Just some of the checks didn't quite work out in his favor, but I think match 2 is going to be a great match, and apparently that's going to be on Friday. I will also be racing on Friday, so we got a lot more Aria of Sorrow tournament action coming up later this week. But yeah, once again, please do follow the runners if you enjoyed the match today. And also follow me if you enjoyed the commentary. And thanks very much to SpeedGaming for continuing to host this event. It's been a lot of fun to be a part of. And I'm excited to see how it goes as we get further along into the bracket. All right, that'll do it for me. Thanks a lot for joining today, everybody. I'll catch you next time.